Where, Anderson? I'm with you, brother. Hey, everybody, we're back for a special edition of Off the Rails with JP. All right, we're back with a special second edition of the podcast tonight with John JC, our friend, and we're going to get John off the rails. And the first question I have to ask you is, can you explain to me how Marxism got into pharmacy?
Same way everything else did. I mean, the oligarchs commandeered healing. Fair enough. Sean, you've budgeted a half an hour. Are you willing to talk about John Rockefeller?
Let's go.
Okay. John Rockefeller, to be honest, if you look at the chart of all of the different corporations that Standard Oil, and yes, John Rockefeller was the patriarch of Standard Oil. All different companies, Sohio, Chevron, all of Exxon, all of them. Just a massive, massive money. Let's not even call it a money making machine. Let's call it a money printing machine.
I agree. Printing is the correct term.
That's the term. I mean, he couldn't miss. But he was, look, he was wicked, but he was wicked smart. And I admire his brain power. I do not admire his morality one bit. And his children have been, J-Rock. I mean, these people have been corrupt, all right? And they're one of the families that dominate the West, and they're largely responsible for our current state, which is, as Mark Mitchell so aptly puts it, fourth stage and shitification, where everything is falling apart by design. And I've asked people, they say, well, there's this and there's that. I said, what is it when the government makes war on its own citizens? I mean, it's not protecting us from other nations, but it's making war on its own citizens. What does that mean? I said, are you able to buy more than you were able to buy 30 years ago? Well, no, I'm not, but your house is worth a lot more, right? Well, it says it is on paper. Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. How's your standard of living? Well, we're struggling to get by. The taxes are high. There's this, there's that. Should that be happening?
You could
And no,
even sell that house. Say you bought it in the 1950s, or maybe your mom and dad bought it in the 1950s, and
right.
they got it for 40 grand. It's the same house it was in the 1950s, and it's now worth $750,000. Not
In
the only thing they updated is they replaced the roof about 25 years ago.
yeah,
So it's due for another roof. Like, the house is really not in good shape, but is it livable? Of course it's livable.
it's
And they think, well, if I look at my assets, that's an asset. I have $750,000 house. The question, John, that I always come up with is, what could they buy if they sold it?
I just proved it. Nothing.
Nothing.
You could buy about 8 months in a salon. All right, that's
Well,
that's what
yeah,
you
no,
could
no,
do.
yeah, yeah. So if you, whatever you use the asset for, your house, right? And
Yeah,
you think you had this massive, massive
right.
increase in your not your earnings, but it just in your profile. So I went from 40,000, or maybe you got it at 80,000, maybe you got
Who
90,000. For
knows?
people, I'm
Yeah,
trying to understand what time you got into this house, and it's now worth 750,000. It's not. It's not worth
that's
it.
not.
It's not worth. Why
No.
is it not worth it? Let me quickly explain why it's not worth it. because you can't buy something else that looks like that for 750,000.
No, no, you can't.
You're gonna buy
You can't.
something
You can't
worse.
replace it. You can't replace it for what they say it's worth.
No,
How about that?
no, no. Uh,
And folks, when you say JD is off the chain, this is what it means. This is by design. Okay, this is a war on wage earners by elites. This is not something that I would have ever said prior to COVID, which is why if you just watched me grilling Booker, and I hope he doesn't hate me, but the but the point
moving
is
on.
no, but the point is it's a scam. And we mentioned Somali fraud. I mean, we're worried about this or that or whatever. We got 19 billion in Somali fraud in Minnesota, courtesy of the CIA, because they were on Ilhan Omar's side in some ridiculous civil war that nobody gave a shit about, and brought her in here. Now she's got intel connections, so nobody can prosecute her. That's what's going on,
Can
folks.
anyone
Sorry,
identify if Somalia has a functioning government?
they
I'm
don't.
looking at the chat rooms. Nobody. Nobody.
No, no,
They
no, you
don't.
can't.
They do not have a
No,
functioning government.
but the CIA has their favorite warlords. And Ilhan Omar is connected with those warlords because they're going to do what America wants. Really? Would we ever notice if they didn't? And yet she gets a free pass for immigration fraud. She gets a free pass for a winery that doesn't exist, for her new husband's consulting firm that doesn't have any clients. And all of a sudden they've got $30 million. And you're sitting here looking at your $750,000 brownstone,
Abode. It looks like Al
thinking
Bundy's abode.
thinking you're rich. Folks, wake up. All right? You've got to wake up. You must. If you have American character, you've got to wake up and understand what kind of a fraud has been perpetrated on you. And yes, John D. Rockefeller got the ball rolling.
Mm.
And I'm going to get right on it, Sean. I'm not going to just keep going. In the 1900s, he was refining gasoline from oil at all of his Standard Oil companies. And I would like to produce the Standard Oil chart of all the companies that he beget, all right, to show you where they all are, and they're all still around. All right. What he found was that he had this waste product that was worthless. It was called plastic.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
When you refine crude oil into gasoline, magically you get plastic. So he's got all this crap, literally, that is not biodegradable, that he doesn't know what to do with. And he's smart enough to realize nobody's going to let me dump all this shit on them. I mean, I should figure out how to monetize this.
Yeah.
And brainiac that he was, I'm giving him credit. He was down on Jekyll Island with the Vanderbilts and the Carnegies and the rest of the gang. He figured out that plastic probably had some utility in pharmacy. Oh, imagine that. Sean, you've managed stores with retail pharmacies. If you look at one of those stores, what percentage of those stores is manufactured with plastic?
So outside of food goods, 95%.
Yes.
All your
And
stuffed teddy bear that you're gonna pick up for
yes,
Valentine's Day over this next couple of days is a petroleum product.
folks,
Your
this
fake flour is a petroleum product. the little like LED candle that you're going to buy because it's LED, it's not a real candle.
It's
It
great.
is
Yeah, it's
a
gonna last forever.
petroleum product. All of it's petroleum products. Outside of our stores did sell some because I worked in the ghetto. Now ask me about why that's important. We also sold fresh foods. Nobody bought them, but we sold
Of course
them.
not.
Nobody bought
No, no, they want the junk. I know. I know.
them.
Alright. So, this guy is enough of a genius to take his excrement. I mean, are you not making enough money with gasoline?
T-shirts are made out of petroleum.
I know they are. I mean, even this one, which I'm going to wear on every show from here on out, right? I mean, I'm done with the Trump stuff. He's gone rhino. So we're gonna go go with Elon and go fuck yourself, all right?
Yes,
The
well, of
the point
course.
is the point is that the petroleum is the basis, as much as oil, of the economy. And this guy was a genius to figure out how to do this. But he wasn't satisfied with just making manufactured products with it. He decided to go whole hog. And you gotta love John D. I mean, you see a picture of him, he looks like Mr. Potter on you know,
No, explain
s
that for the
square
viewers who Mr. Potter is.
yeah,
This was
squaring
a
off
movie
with
in the
with J
1930s.
yeah, squaring off with Jimmy Stewart. The
Yeah.
Rockefeller is like Mr. Potter, alright?
Well, but, you got like, there are occasionally a few people that listen to us that are, uh, younger, um,
Yeah.
so when we're talking about
It's a
Mr. Potter,
Wonderful Life, right?
we're
Wasn't that
we're
the name of
talking
the movie?
about a movie from the 1930s, and everyone's gonna go, "Ah, that's
It's
retarded."
on the
No, it
listen,
actually is a
listen,
great
guys,
movie.
it's on the TV every Christmas
It's
time,
a great
alright?
movie.
It's a fantastic movie. Jimmy Stewart, I don't know what her name is, but there's angels that show him the future, that show him the past, show him his contribution because he actually cared about people.
Mhm.
Sucker that he was.
Yeah.
All right, and Potter's trying to do him in, and if well, certain circumstances didn't evolve. His wife wouldn't know him, and he's horrified by this, and he goes through this whole existential crisis. The best way I can relate to it in modern day is Luke on the back of, I'm sorry, the Yoda on Luke's back, educating him while he's going through the cave of horrors or whatever, and he's got to fight Vader, and you've got to fight
You're
Potter.
still talking about a 1977 movie.
Yeah, I know that's too old too for you iPhoners. I know I can't even think of anything current that's even like that because Star Wars went woke and it's all feminist, and so I don't even know how to relate to
I
that. But I
told
would
you we were gonna get JC off the rails. Here we
listen.
go!
I told
Here
you
we
guys,
go!
watch the original trilogy and you'll understand manhood. Even though Mark Hamill doesn't understand it anymore, but that's That's they neutered him. I mean, it's a whole 9 yards, all right? Anyway, John Rockefeller said out loud at one point that he thought plastics might have applicability in the pharmaceutical industry.
Mhm.
Wow. All right. You think? Ever been in a pharmacy? How much of that shit is made out of plastic? The vials, the capsules, the shelves, the shelf talkers, the banners, the signs, every damn thing. I mean, even the blinds in some cases are made out of plastic.
Why not glass?
Yeah, but that
No, no,
still
why not
wasn't enough.
glass? Why did we switch from glass to plastic?
Well, they said it saved money, but what it did was it enriched Rockefeller. That's why. Lobbyists. Now, last but not least, this wouldn't have worked out like he'd hoped unless he was smart enough to do this that nobody ever talks about. And yet, when you're in pharmacy school, you hear with reverence about the Durham-Humphrey Amendments in 1948. Sean, this is not a quiz. Do you know what the Durham-Humphrey Amendments
I
are?
do not.
It creates a class of prescription drugs that are under the control of the physician.
Oh,
Prior to that, pharmacists were allowed to heal you.
yes. Yeah.
Following that, pharmacists had to follow the instructions on the prescription and follow the doctor's orders on the dosage forms, which also were standardized as all of the homeopathic stuff that we're now rediscovering was all outlawed. I mean, Rockefeller what makes Bezos look like a piker. Okay. Well, we're worried about oligarchs now. Oh man, Bezos done got nothing on old John D. All right, John D. And I'm John D. But I don't have that kind of money. Anyway, anyway, but they restricted that shit to physicians, and then pharmaceutical companies adapted immediately, hired legions of sexy women to go talk to doctors about what products they should be using. And of course, we've got this deal on antibiotics, and we've got this, and we've got that. And if you just buy a little bit more, you'll get this discount. I've seen it all. I've
Mm.
seen it all, and it's fucking horrifying.
Well,
And why
where's
I
the
was
where's the corrective action? Because you've got a whole group of people, and it's a large group of people, like a large group of people, hundreds of thousands, that are just like, I don't like even want to go to the doctor. When even maybe they probably should, because they might be having a heart attack. They've been so disenfranchised because of COVID. They're not even willing to ask for help. They're like, fuck it.
I'd rather
I'm not
die.
going to those guys. But where do we meet a middle there at
And
least?
Sean, when do you think my last doctor visit was?
No, no,
Guess
I
the
no, I get
Okay,
that.
no. I'm gonna ask you. Just guess the decade. I'm off the chain. I'm gonna tell you the truth.
I'm pretty sure it was 10 years ago.
1995.
Oh, well then, alright, it was
You know why?
a
Because
lot of
they
years.
made me. Because my ex wanted to adopt more children, and I said to her,
Sure.
why don't we learn to handle the ones we have before we get more to play out your autobiography of your mom having 10 kids and you wishing that we could. I look,
Yeah, sure.
we live out our childhood on our spouses, and that's why the divorce rate is so high, which is another show. Anyway.
I hold on. I'm putting this on the doom scroll. I'm just
Okay.
gonna change the total title of the show to "This Should Have Been a Podcast."
All right.
I mean, come on, because every time we come up with a topic, it's a fucking podcast. No, but hold on. Let's go back. Why? Why? So I haven't obviously gone, and there's been some things that have happened to me, and personally, I'm not going to share them on this show. I've got a unique health issue, very unique. Oh, and I'll just feel like shit. My mom's like, "Oh, you need to go to the hospital," and I was like, "No, I need to just lay
No,
down. I need to
no,
chill.
don't
It will self
go.
heal."
Call me.
Can you start with I was trying to get you off the rails, but let me get you on self-healing. What does the human body do that Elon Musk sees that robots are gonna do in 2 years? Self-heal.
Yes.
Can you explain that as a physician?
Yeah. There's actually a long term for it. It's called homeostasis. When something happens in your body compensates unless something foreign fucks with it. Now, you guys have seen our shows, most of you have anyway, where we've talked about the human immune system, and there is absolutely
Mhm.
no better example of this than the immune system. You have cells in your body right now that are killing cancers that you are developing. You're getting cancer, and your immune system is overcoming them. And if you are stupid enough to believe them and keep taking vaccinations, you are wearing down your ability to fight off those cancers because God designed your immune system as it's meant to be. And any alterations to it, despite the acclamation of Dr. Science, are destructive.
So, what would you say to people that are in their 70s or even 80s, like my aunt, who successfully went through? We'll get into why, but successfully went through chemo, and is gonna get some more time in life, and the doctor has declared you are now cancer free, but you basically can't go out in public because your immune system is totally fucking wrecked.
You just answered your own question.
Mm.
You can't poison your way to health. And chemotherapy is poison. It is.
Well, and then after you do that, because of course now
But Sean,
she feels better, right? And she's
no, you don't feel better. You lose your energy and you lose all of the things you need to fight off the next affliction because you poisoned it out of existence.
Mhm.
That's what's going on. And I'd take you right back to the discovery of penicillin. Remember, you've heard this story a bunch of times. It'll never change. Arsenic, lead, zinc. I mean, zinc is great to stop COVID, but you got to get it in the cell, so you need hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin. But details. They're studying all these metals to try to inhibit bacterial growth, and one petri dish in the British lab gets contaminated. What's in it?
So
Penicillin, the
so what
mold.
what well, hold on. Why would I, was given a shot of penicillin or a pill, basically. I think it was a shot once, and then it was a pill. It
Oh,
doesn't
it was
matter.
a shot in your ass, right? Yeah,
Yeah, and then I
yeah,
think it was a pill a couple years later, but
right.
it doesn't matter. Whole point is, why did I get hives?
Well, because there was a reaction to the mold.
It's
You got
mold.
yeah, you got sensitized to it. That's a normal immune response. Penicillin is a foreign agent, so some people are sensitive to it. And the only time that sensitivity causes a problem is when it affects your throat. And this is health according to JD. There's two ways to die. One is to stop breathing, the other is for your heart to stop beating. Those are the two ways
Yes.
confirmed by bullets everywhere. Okay. Bullet goes through your heart, you're dead. Your lungs stop. You're
You're
done.
right.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. Even if you have a heart lung machine, you can be weaned off. But if you can't breathe on your own, you don't live. All right. But at the same time, penicillin is a foreign substance, and your body's immune system regards it as foreign and does antibodies against it, which is sensitive. There's your hives, which is why I know trimethoprim and sulfamethoxazole works for your ears, but I'm not going to tell you how I
Well,
know.
does it hold on, doesn't your body also produce a similar thing? Because I will tell you this, I have no idea if anyone's ever gotten COVID in their life, but when I think I got COVID, I didn't take anything,
No?
and hear me out, I got a case of hives that lasted about 24 hours.
Okay.
Was my body not producing, this is an honest question, producing what the same effect that penicillin would have produced to heal myself from COVID? And I was talking to I literally, because corporate world, I was talking to HR and I was like, "Holy shit, I'm getting the hives." I'm getting hives.
Did it affect your throat?
Oh, like breathing? No, but
Right. Well,
arm,
then it
chest.
wasn't really anything to worry about. That's how
No,
you know. Well, listen,
no, but with
listen.
my body
I can
not
confess
producing a
this. I can
similar
confess this
response.
now that my salon is closed. Okay. If I had guests that had a hypersensitivity reaction, start getting hives to the hair color or something like that, I had medications in my the wellness center emergency kit
Mhm,
that I could supply that would take care of it in 20 minutes. And
mhm.
my service providers would look at me going, "What are you?" But that wasn't enough to get respect. I still didn't know what schedule they should work, but that's another fight. Anyway, but the point about
That
Rockefeller is,
should be a podcast. Look,
can you imagine just for
I'm totally changing the name of this show.
if you're John Rockefeller, can you imagine using the excrement from your hydrocarbon refining to become the pharmaceutical industry and capturing all the doctors as captured agents and sending in TNA into all their offices to detail, which is the term they used, what the latest greatest thing was? You have no idea how unpopular I was at those trade associations.
Hey, so I want to explain something. So I worked in the industry at the same different job at the same time. JC
I
worked
did.
in the industry, and
Right.
one of the fascinating things is that before Walgreens got captured uh, by a very single man, he really did. He fucked everybody. He totally fucked everybody. But before he did that, while Walgreens was still a very successful retail pharmacy company, uh,
Back in the day.
we in the early 2000s had put a ban on pharmachicks, and everyone's going, "Well, what's that?" It's the big boobed blonde lady that comes in to talk to your pharmacy manager to sell drugs.
With
We
the short
banned it
skirt.
from the
Yeah.
property, and they would come in every once in a while, and they were so nice. They're like, "Oh, hey, Sean, I recognize you. I seen your LinkedIn profile. You're awesome." And I'd be like, "Get the fuck out."
Yeah, no,
Oh,
they were the perkiest people you could ever meet.
they were super quirky.
They had all the female energy required to get the deal done.
But
I
that's not just that industry. That happens in every industry.
No, 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 no. But here's the point for people that are still following. Prior to 1948 and Rockefeller's intervention in our medical system with this grift, I mean, calling this a grift is almost, well, you talk about off the chain. I mean, what is grift times 10 zillion factorial? I mean, that's what we're talking about. The idea of isolating all of that decision making authority in the physician. And folks, let me blow the whistle. Physicians get one semester of pharmacology in medical school. Pharmacists study pharmacology for 4 years.
Yes.
Okay? Physicians, I draw your own conclusion. But the point is that they always want to go to the latest, greatest things. And my own personal experience in managing a drug plan for an HMO, yes, I did break through and I got in there for a while and I saved people a fortune, made some guys $100 million. But of course, they got me out of there because that was not the objective. The objective was up, 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 and away. But the point, I'm being serious. I can tell you the entire story. But I when you isolate that sort of decision-making power in one person and make them basically what they would call in New York the monk, and you flood the zone with that much TNA, it's gonna have an impact. And then discount
It. Listen, even though I was personally, because I knew what it was, never
Yeah,
affected by it, I watched colleague after colleague after colleague just fall. And this isn't just in the pharmaceutical industry, it's in all industry. TNA
it
is
sells.
it will change the world, and they use it for a absolute reason, but it goes even deeper than that. They also program you, and you might not fall for it, but your colleagues do, uh, with all kinds of other information, and this is where you get into a spot. What pharmaceutical we can talk about, but in any
I'm gonna.
industry.
I've got another story about pharmaceutical, but
Yeah,
go ahead.
but
Yeah.
literally, you just get so much incentive, it's you can't say no to. You're
Right.
like, listen, I'm going to be at my kid's soccer team. Now they're a traveling team, and the traveling team is like $4,000 a month. And the only way I can do this is if I just accept the
Signing.
bonus I'm gonna get if I'm not. We're not gonna name any specific things. We're not gonna get into
No, no,
that,
no. But folks,
but
I got to tell you, now that that's all been shut down, guess where the balloon is expanding? It's expanding on vaccines. It's the same thing.
mm,
Same thing. You get on the childhood schedule. You make sure every kid in America gets it, no matter whether they need it or not, no matter whether it's good for them or not. I mean, you look at the hepatitis B vaccine. What a joke.
why do we need that?
We don't.
Well, so Hep B is a canker sore, right?
Yeah,
And
we
then you
don't need it.
heal, and then you heal.
Yeah, of course. But the kid doesn't need it unless the kid's a drug addict. I mean, the kid's newborn.
I
You think the
said
kid?
the show was off the rails. Go off the rails.
I mean, unless mom's a drug addict. But how many? Come on, 87 vaccines,
Mm.
all on the schedule, all forced purchase. I mean, let me just say that Bobby Kennedy, and some people are bitching that he's not effective enough. Look, in my opinion, the guy is an avenging angel. And what I would say to Booker, if he would, and I'm not trying to pick on him, but he would say, well,
You
the
shouldn't.
okay, but the point is the idea that I'm 64 next week and I'm in a foxhole with a Kennedy now shooting in the same direction absolutely blows my fucking mind. I mean, you remember? Okay, I, here's a story. We used to I used to work for a franchise pharmacy for a medicine shop. You may
Uh,
have seen some
uh,
of them.
I'm pretty sure we work for the same one.
All right. Well, you may not have. All right.
Alright.
Okay. They'd go to these regional meetings, but all the bonuses for the regional managers was based on collections of license fees. What a great incentive, right? You're the bill collector and you come back with the check and you get your bonus. How cool is
No,
that?
go farther because this isn't just pharmacy. This is hair cutting. This is nail
Yes,
technicians.
it's everything.
It's
It's
a
everything.
government controlled industry by you have to get a license to do
Right.
nobody knows what because the
Yes.
government doesn't know what you do, but they give you a
There.
test. A
So,
test.
so there
And then
was
they
this.
charge you money for that test.
Yes, they do. In fact, I'm up for license renewal for my pharmacy license in Illinois.
Yeah, of
I
course.
got to get it done by the end of March if I
Oh,
still want to do it.
did you do your whatever
Well,
prerequisite?
it is my state of original licensure, and if I want to give people ivermectin and
Yeah.
mebendazole that might actually
No, no,
cure
totally,
them,
but
I
did
should
you do
cough up to
the
350
nine
bucks and do it
nine
right.
hours or 12 hours or whatever you
Yeah,
did of
whatever it is.
continuing or education?
If the shitstorm I'm currently in dies down, I'll probably renew it, but I obviously don't have time right now. Anyway, I
Continuing
mean,
education. What?
it
Whatever. Go on.
shitification. That's the term.
Continuing
Anyway,
education. It's stupid. It's retarded.
the
What I
whole
will tell you why it's
oh,
retarded
but the
because
whole
when you
thing
go
is
log
retarded.
into that stupid computer system for Mega Corporation A, you don't learn anything. You're just pissed off that you have to take it again.
Again, and
I
you have
didn't
to
learn
take it
anything new.
nothing. It's all just make work, and usually if you've got a bunch of people that need to take it, they just pass around the answers. And this time when I take the test and, if anyone in, my state of original licensure did I mention what it was? I hope not,
You
'cause
did. You did,
it
though.
it oh, shit. Oh, will you delete this? Anyway, I'll probably use AI to answer the questions.
Well, no, no. Let's be honest about it. I literally the pharmacy girls, not the
Oh,
pharmacists, the pharmacy girls, the
yeah.
technicians, the
I
whatever.
know who they are. Yeah.
I'd be like, I gotta do my CE. They'd be like, hold on, send it to me.
Yeah.
All right, you're done. A couple days later, they'd be like, you're done. You got your 40 hours of CE in. And I'm
Yeah.
like, great,
No,
you're awesome. High five.
they were always Irish girls. They're the best. I mean, yeah, yeah, absolutely. They have all the perky personality. The
Well,
pharmacy girls were always Irish. Yeah.
yeah, well, the point I'm making is that you could easily just I had to maintain a very high level of licensure to manage the pharmacy. I was not a pharmacist. And I did not have to do anything to maintain
They're too
that
smart to
every
be one.
3-year relicensing because the girls would just be like, "Whoa, shit, you're up for it? Oh, yeah, well, what's your login? We'll fill out your 40 hours
And
of
we'll take
CE.
care of it. Yeah.
Yeah, we got it. No worries."
Do you still have their phone numbers?
I do not. It was a long time ago, man.
That
I've
would
lived
that would make
listen, I've lived, like, 5 lives in just
alright.
48
That would that
years.
would make that would make life a little easier, but I've got till the end of March, so I should be alright.
Mm,
I mean,
yeah, but they
I've got
also most of them also still live in Indiana. They wouldn't be helpful to
yeah.
you.
It also, they're Indianans.
Yeah, they're Hoosiers.
Alright, fair enough. Anyway, uh, Rockefeller wrecked the profession of pharmacy, to be honest. I mean, how can you be, how can you, can I say this? I mean, I'm off the chain, right? How can you be a healthcare professional when all you're doing is taking an order like a steak and shake cook, all right? And then the moment, sorry, Booker, the moment you get an opportunity to step up, all right? And you have some physicians that have enough game, that have enough balls, that have enough courage to prescribe hydroxychloroquine or ivermectin. You turn them into the state board.
Mhm.
When you haven't turned in a physician to the state board previously for anything, right? In my opinion, people that do that are unworthy of the title American because that is not American character. The fact is, the oath comes at graduation, and it's not this. It's you will first do no harm. You will put the patient first.
Timeout. I know your shirt says, and it's the Elon meme, "Go fuck yourself," but I believe what people don't understand is Elon is moving to a prime directive
Yes.
of do no harm to humans. Second one, be helpful to humans. And so
I
all other AIs are not programmed with that prime directive.
And the key point to his treatise is, you're going to bribe me with money? Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck
That's that's
yourself.
where that's where that came
I
from.
don't need money.
And
Nobody. And he goes, if you think if you're gonna accuse, if you're gonna do that to us, I'll make sure nobody needs money.
right.
Which is like what if we look at where Elon's going versus the rest of the planet, and I know you could go, I'm MAGA, or I'm this, or I'm that. And you go,
If
oh,
if he wants to make sure nobody needs money, give him my address, okay?
no, 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 it's gonna. This it should have been a podcast. I'm
Yes.
fucking renaming this show. It should have been a podcast. But to explain that as quickly as I can, he's going to take because Trump can't do it, JD can't do it, obviously Europe can't do it, nobody can do it. He's just going to take it and make it so that there is superabundance. What does superabundance create? Really cheap shit.
Deflation.
Really,
The very
the thing that all of the countries hate: deflation.
the thing that Rockefeller feared the most is
Yes,
that the price of
yes,
goods would go down. Yes. I've always wondered why deflation would be so bad, because we had it during the Depression, and it
we
didn't seem
did.
like it
We
really was that
absolutely
bad.
did. We absolutely did.
They've set out to try to avoid that forever. You know that. That's
Yeah,
what
no,
this is all
and
about.
they purposely want to keep inflation at 2% every year,
Can I can I
which is
point
which is
out
retarded,
that
honestly.
what we learned today in the jobs numbers is that the Biden administration falsified jobs numbers for years to the tune of 2 million jobs. All right? So we've been in a recession for God knows how long. All right? But it's being fixed like really quick. Our trade deficit, and I know this is doom scroll, but our trade deficit is down under 100 billion. Our deficit is not going to be what it's been. I mean, everything looks great, and yet Alyssa Slotkin advises you don't need to follow illegal orders, but she's not worthy of indictment for sedition because she's so fucking brilliant, and it's just different when Democrats do it. That's how it works. If you're a J6 protester, they chase your ass to the northern tip of Alaska. If you're a Democrat, you can say illegal aliens should vote, and we're going to filibuster the whole fucking thing until the nation goes down to zero. And it's great. It's fantastic. What a patriot you are, John Thune. Like me.
Losers. All of them. They're losers.
All of them.
They're losers.
But by the way, I have to give Rockefeller credit before we move off this. He absolutely destroyed my profession, and if I had any sense, I would have never done it. I did learn a lot. The reason I went into it,
Hold on, because all professions are about to be destroyed in the
I
next
know,
3 to 5 years.
John, it's all, we're the United States of fraud. I know. It's all fake. Look, you hear me talking dark. It's not dark. I'm filing Chapter 7 everywhere. Okay, I owe everybody more money than God. All right, not
You
because
won't.
I'm stupid. No, not because I'm stupid. Because it's rigged. All right, and I can't tell me you can find somebody who wants to work. All right, and somebody wants me to sign for a $1 million lease extension. I'd have to have my head examined.
I've been
All right,
I've been I've been I've been I've been talking about this. I mean, this is why would a company you were company owner.
Well, I was until yesterday, right?
Why would they want human employees
They
when they
don't.
just could have robots do all of it? I know you were pre the robot era, but we're approaching that this year. Why the hell would you want to employ a human who's gonna go, "I need my brakes," or "I need my" whatever.
Can I make it real? Can I make it real for all of
Yeah.
you and you'll all understand? All right. This is easy. Let's say you employ a hairstylist on a 7-hour shift. The taxpayers in your state have seen fit to increase minimum wage from $7.65 when you open this place to $15 an hour. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. That means the minimum you owe her for a 7-hour shift of sitting on her ass and texting her boyfriend is $105. All right. You have to pay that. That is state law. Now, yes, you can take an hour for lunch and breaks. Yeah, okay, so 90. All right, great.
Sure.
Nice. All right. She does 2 haircuts. The haircuts cost $40. Your take on that is 20, her take on that is 20. All right. Each client left a credit card tip of $10. All right. So that's $10 for her. So in her pile, you've got 50, 60 bucks at the end of the day, right? In your pile you've got 105. So she gets 105, right? What do you think the question is? Where's my tips?
Well,
Are
sure.
you fucking kidding me? All right. You sat on your ass. Okay, Sean. I'm off the chain. All right.
Off the
I
rail.
have there is no woman who goes to Starbucks that doesn't like to go to hair salons. We have a Starbucks within a stone's throw of our front door. I have more than
Mm.
$300 worth of Starbucks $5 gift cards that I've encouraged my staff to use when they go over to buy their own coffee to meet a potential guest there and to talk to them about their hair and to bring that guest back and do their hair or at least do a consultation while you're at Starbucks because you want to build your book, right? How many of those you think I got left? 90% of them.
Well,
Who
sure.
took me up on it? No, no, no. I wanna text my boyfriend. I'm not gonna do that. What about laundry? Oh no, I don't want to do that. You got a guy walk in for a men's cut, Sean, and 6 out of 7 head to the break room because they don't want to do it because they're not comfortable doing men's cuts. Really?
They were trained to do it in Cosmo School.
They don't want to do it.
They don't want to do it.
That's right.
Let's
And
close this one out. Hey, but I will tell you, I totally will give you a little more time, but I want to do more off the rails with JC.
before you run away, there is a man named Anthony DeMello who used to be alive. He died in 1987. He was an Indian Jesuit, very interesting guy.
Mm,
He unlocked the secret to life for me. You know what he said?
no.
When you're wondering why your romantic partner or someone that you employ isn't doing something, the answer is very simple. People do what they want to do,
They do.
and they don't do what they don't wish to do.
Right. Yes,
And if,
absolutely.
and if you can internalize that, you'll be as happy as I am.
All
Even
right.
though
So
Booker
wait,
was
wait, hold on. We need to like take this and then focus it on why I've been explaining. Why robots will take every job is because of what you
yes,
just said.
because robots are going to do what you ask,
Yeah, they're like, "Hey, how do I please you?"
whether they want to or not, because they don't have that level of veto.
How do I fix the problem human? That's what the robot's gonna be. Hold on. So how do I fix the whole or well, we're building a highway. Well, I need you to do and you give it the input, rebar, blah, 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 concrete,
yeah.
or it could be it could be hair or it could be nails. And everyone goes, "No, no, you're fucking there's no way a robot could ever do it." Are you kidding me?
They can.
It can.
They can.
It absolutely can. And that's
And you know
the
what? And you know what?
reason
The robot.
why robots are going to be the what companies move forward is because human beings are at the core. And I'm not saying human beings are bad human beings. I'm saying human beings
Unreliable.
are not able to do the jobs.
You know what? You know what robots are not going to do?
What?
Well, if you have a 6 a.m. appointment to do a wedding for a bride, the robots aren't going to be out driving around with their boyfriend at 3:30 in the morning and driving into a ditch and having a car wreck and then not letting work know that they're not coming. That robots would not do that.
Not a chance. That's that's us that we actually need to talk
But
about.
that's not even a fucking hypothetical. That's something that
Right.
happened to me. All right.
The robot's just gonna be there. It's gonna
Right.
show up, it's gonna
But
do the thing.
unfortunately, I didn't have a fucking robot, okay?
No.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
All right.
This podcast, I think we're still gonna change the name of it. I really believe see, we should just say, untitle this should have been a podcast.
Yeah.
So,
Or
anyway, let's
just
let
say off the chain, right?
well,
Something.
yeah, well, if that's a different thing. If I say we're gonna go off the rails
Okay, okay.
with
All right.
JC, then we want you to go fucking all full retard.
All right. Well, I understand the retard part. I get it. And I don't even take offense. God damn, I'm almost 64. What the hell? Who cares?
Wait, I mean, didn't the Beatles sing a song about that?
About retards?
No, about being 64.
Yeah, yeah, but no, she doesn't need me and will you still feed me? No, they're both gone, so it's fine.
All right, let's close this shit out.
All right, brother.
Uh, Jesus.